Allow me to share from where we had left. Yeah, so the last time I think when we discussed, we simply did distributing a quantity in a given ratio. I hope that's where we had stopped last time.
Yes.
Yeah. So now today I want us to begin the proportion. Under proportion, we'll be able to understand that in this case, we are going to talk of ratios, how they compare, two or more of them. For example, we can be able to have two ratios being compared to see which one is greater or how they are similar to each other. Whereby we'll be able to have, for example, you have a ratio A, B, and C, such that are three numbers, such that now A to ratio B to ratio C is equals to 2 to ratio 3 to ratio 5, as you can be able to see in this example here or this explanation. Then we'll be able to say that A, B, and C are said to be proportion with 2, 3, and 5, and the relationship should be interpreted to mean A all over 2 is equals to B all over 3 is equals to C all over 3. Similarly, it can be given as A ratio B is equals to 2 ratio 3, and then B to ratio C is equals to 3 ratio 5, and A to ratio C is equals to 2 ratio 5. This means, ukiangalia hapa, these values have been deduced from the ratios given. For example, you have been given that A to ratio B to ratio C is equals to 2 to ratio 3 to ratio 5. So this means that we can be able to have A to ratio B will be equal to, so you pick the values of A and B, and then you write them in the ratio, so it will be 2 to ratio 3. The same case, we can be able to have P to ratio C. In this case, we are going to pick the value of B, which is 3, then to the ratio of the value of C, which is 5. The same case, we can be able to have A to ratio C can be written as the value of A, which is 2, the ratio of the value of C, yes, which is 5. So therefore, it becomes 2 to ratio 5. So in that case, you can be able to say that is the proportion. Now we are able to compare various ratios. So on the other part, you can be able to say for example, we have that if A to ratio B is equals to 3 to ratio 4, and B to ratio C is equals to 5 to ratio 7. Find A ratio C. So for this one, we are going to have it such that we can be able to arrange it such that we have A ratio B, which is equals to 3 ratio 4, and B ratio C is equals to 5 ratio 7. In this case, you can be able to see the common part between the two ratios is B. In the first ratio, we have B, and in the second ratio, we have B. But when you look at the values given are not the same. So what we need to do here is to make sure that we make the values to be the same. So we are going to take the value of B in the first ratio, we multiply it in the second ratio, and the value of B in the second ratio, we multiply it in the first ratio. So we are going to have the new ratios of A and B. So this one will be A ratio B will be equal to the value of B on the lower part is 5. We multiply it with 3 ratio 4. And then on the lower part, we have B ratio C. So we multiply the ratio with the value of B in the first ratio. So we are going to have 4 times 5 ratio 7. The reason why we are doing this is we need to make sure that the value of B in both cases are similar or are the same. So therefore, this one becomes A ratio B will be equal to 15 ratio 20. And then B ratio C becomes 20 ratio 4 times 7 is 28. So therefore now we already have the value of B in both ratios being the same. Now from here we can be able to rearrange it to have A ratio B ratio C, whereby it will be equal to 15 ratio 20 ratio 28. But now the question is find the ratio of A to ratio C. So we say that you will simply rearrange it so that you have A ratio C, whereby the value of A from these new ratios is 15 to the ratio of the value of C in the new ratio is 28. So we have it as 15 ratio 28. That's the ratio of A to C. So that's how we can be able to apply proportion to compare various ratios. I don't know whether you have understood that.
Teacher, do another example.
Okay. Let's look at number 1, whereby we have find the ratio of A ratio C if A ratio B is equals to 2 ratio 5, B ratio C is equals to 5 ratio 3. So we have that A ratio B is equals to 2, 5, and B ratio C is equals to 5, 3. For this case, you can be able to see that we have the values of B in both ratios. And now the good thing for this one is that both the values of B are the same. So meaning that you can be able to rewrite it to have A ratio B ratio C is equals to 2 ratio 5 ratio 3. So we need the ratio of A to C will be equal to 2 to ratio 3. For this one, we don't have to bracket because already the value of B in both ratios are the same. A different example, like in number 2, that's number 1B, whereby we have A ratio B equals to 1 ratio 4, and B ratio C equals to 1 ratio 5. For this case, the value of B in the two ratios are different. So we are going to multiply here by the value of B in the second ratio, and also in the second ratio, we are going to multiply it by the value of B. So we are going to have A ratio B being equal to 1 ratio 4, and then B ratio C being equal to 4 ratio 20. At this point now, ukiangalia value ya B in both ratios are the same, zote ni 4. So we will be able to rearrange it to have A ratio B ratio C, whereby A is 1, B is 4, and C is 20. The question needs us to find the ratio of A to C. So in that case, we're going to take the value of A, which is 1, the ratio of the value of C, which is 20. So therefore, it becomes 1 ratio 20. Is it well understood now?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, so can we try number C?
Number C.
Yeah, go on C.
B is to C.
Nine is 1 for me. Mm. Mm.
So the ratio of A is to C should be 9:1.
Hata nimeona kuna makosa mwalimu. Narudia. Teacher. Yeah, it is 9:1.
Are you done?
Yes,
Yes.
9:1. A is to C is 9:1. Teacher, we are done.
Are you done?
Yes, teacher. 9:1.
Yes, what did you get?
9:1. For A
9
and
to
for
1.
A is to C. Yeah.
Okay, so in that case, I think
Teacher.
we are correct. So that is majorly how we were supposed to do it. The same case, we can be given more than 3 ratios, like in number G and number H, whereby you'll be required to determine the values of those ratios.
Number? We do E.
Yes, you can attempt it, then we will do it together in the next 1 minute. How do you see that? Is it doable?
Yes, we are trying.
Okay.
Abdi, we are doing number E.
Namba?
E.
Oh, network imeenda kidogo.
Okay.
Thank you.
Once you are done, you alert me
Mm.
so that we can move together. Are you done?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so what have you gotten?
A is to C is equals to 4 ratio. 4 is to 10.
4:10, okay? Let's do it together and see.
Mine is 1:1.
Wow.
Okay, so in this case, I'm saying that we'll be able to do it together and see what we are required to get. So we have A ratio X, which is equals to 3:1. And then the second part is
Oh,
X.
ni G ama tumefanya E mwalimu.
Umefanya?
Mwalimu, ulituambia tufanya E.
Oh, sorry. So E, we have A ratio B, which is equals to 1:2. And then we have B ratio D is equals to 4:5. And then last we have D ratio C is equals to 3:1. So in this case, you can be able to see we have three ratios being compared. So therefore, we look at the one which are common. We have
Yes.
this B and B. in this case, when you look at the values are not the same, so we have to make them the same first. So we multiply by, on the lower side here, we're going to multiply by 2, and on the upper side here, we're able to multiply by 4. So therefore, that one is going to give us A ratio B will be equal to 4 ratio 8, sorry, and then B ratio D will be equal to 8 ratio
Ratio 10.
10. Then now we have this one here, which is D to ratio C, which is equals to 3 ratio 1. So the value of D in this case is 10, and that one of D on the lower side is 3. So we need to make sure that the ratios of D and D on those two ratios are the same. So what we do, we'll be able to multiply on the upper side here by 3 and on the lower side here by 10. So therefore, in that case, we'll be able to have B ratio D and D ratio C. So B ratio D will be equal to 3 times 8 is 24 ratio 30. And then on the lower side, we'll be able to have 30 ratio 10. But now, again, there is something here which has changed, which we also have to make sure that we cater for it. Again, now we have A ratio B, which is 4 ratio 8. So when you look at this B and the B that we have formed here are not the same. So we again have to make sure that they are the same. So the only way we can be able to do it is to take the value of B and the value of B on the lower side. We look at which number can we be able to multiply to make them the same. We have said that we can be able to multiply here by 8, and then on the other end we can be able to multiply by the other number, which is to make this one, we will be able to multiply it by 24. But now, since we need to retain the value of D, we'll be able to have something to be done here. You see, D on the lower side is 30, and on the upper side here is 30 also. And then on this other end here, we have B being 28. So we need to look at, we retain this one, the value of B to be 24. Yeah, so I was saying that in this case, we need to retain the value to be 24 so that to avoid changing on the other end. So we'll be able to multiply on the lower side. We look at the number that we can be able to multiply by this 8 to give us 24 on this side. So it means that we can multiply here by 3, and then on the upper side, this one here, we can multiply it by, which number do you think can multiply by it to give us, to retain 24?
3.
3.
Upper Jew, to retain this value of B to be 24, which number can we multiply? 21.
3.
Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, to
Okay,
retain
one.
this 20. Yeah. So it means that here on the lower side, we are going to multiply by 3, but on the upper side, for the one which has B, to the multiply na 1. So therefore, we'll be able to have B ratio D will be equal to 24 to ratio 30. Then the value of A ratio B itakuwa, we'll be able to have 4 times 3 is 12 to the ratio of 24. So ukiangalia hapo, we already have the value of A, B, C, and D, whereby we can be able now to rearrange them so that we have, wanted to rearrange them here. The value of A, ratio B, ratio C, ratio D. So what's the value of A? What's the value of A?
4.
From here, it's 12. To ratio, what's the value of B? The value of A is here. It's 12. Then the value of B is this one here, which is 24. The value of C, which we got here, was 30. Sorry, the value of C is 10, and then the value of D is 30. But the question requires to find the ratio of A to ratio C. So it's A to ratio C, which will be equal to 12 ratio 10. Don't know whether that's what you got. Is it what
No.
you got? What did you get? Mlikuwa umepata nini?
Unajua sikuona hii part ya mid-term.
12 is to 30.
Oh, so that is how we are supposed to do this. Sijui kama mmeelewa ama I need to repeat.
Teacher, repeat
Yes.
hiyo imetukafanya kidogo.
Sawa.
Sijui kama kuna mwingine.
Let me repeat once more. Though remember we had said that you can be able to simplify the ratio, so meaning that you can simplify this one. Ukiangalia hapa juu, there is a common number which can divide across to simplify them. So ukiangalia 2 can be able to simplify A, B, C, and D, so that you are going to have your final ratio as 6, 12, 5, and 15. Give me a minute. Sorry, I was saying that here we can be able to have it done in this way.
Teacher, heading number?
I'm repeating the same question.
Okay.
You wanted me to do another one of the same
No,
kind?
No.
we
Okay,
did
let me
the
repeat.
sum.
Okay. So on this case, I was saying that we have the three ratios whereby we have A, ratio B, which is equals to 1 ratio 2. And then we have the second one, which is B
B.
ratio D is given by 4 to 5. Then we have the third one, which is D to C, which is equals to 3 to 1. 3 to ratio 1. So therefore, we have said that we start with the first two. This one here. Whereby now we need to look at the common parts, whereby it's B and B. So we need to make them to be the same. So we are going to multiply the lower number of B upper juu. So we are going to multiply here by 4. And then on the lower part here, we are going to multiply it by 2. So we'll be able to have the new values of A, B being equal to 4 ratio 8. And then the other one, which is B ratio D, becomes
8
8 ratio.
10.
Then we move on to the third one, which is D C, which is given by 3 ratio 1. So when you look at the common figures here, is that one of D and D. So we need to make the value of D to be the same.
Yes, mwalimu.
So for yes,
Yes. Hapo kwa D ratio C 3:1 alafu next umefanyaje?
nimesema we need to make D to be the same. So ndio nasema
B ama
D.
D, yes. So we use the second, this one here and this one. Tuko sawa hapo? So the common
tunatumia hiyo ratio ya
D na
8:10 eh?
so D
D.
value yake ni 10
Oh,
na hapa
yeah.
chini value yake ni
Hapo chini D ni 3.
Hmm?
D is to C ratio ni 3:1.
Yes.
so multiply na 3 na hii hapa chini sio ni sawa?
10. Yes.
Umeona why nimefanya hivyo?
Eh.
Then from there now we are going to have B D being equal to 24.
24, 30.
That, and then the other one becomes D to C itakuwa
30 ratio 10.
ratio
Ratio 10.
10. But sasa tukiwa na hii hapa juu hii A ratio B ukiangalia iko na B na hii ya pili, this one BD iko 24 that, na hii ni 4 8 whereby hazifanani. So again we have to go back, we deal with it so that the values of B to be the same. Nikasema hapa we need to retain ED equal 30 and this to be 24. So tutaangalia hapa kwa hii B ya A ratio B ni namba gani tutaimultiply na hiyo 8 itupee 24, just the same as EB ya hapa juu. Tumeelewana?
Unataka kufanya ikuwe same gani?
Hii B ya pili hii hapa A ratio B si ni 4 ratio 8.
Yes.
Then tuko na hii B ratio D which is 24 to 30. Are you seeing that? So we don't want
Yes,
to affect
B.
Yes, we don't want to affect this BD. We want to retain it. So what we do, we only need to make the value of B to be the same as the value of B on this ratio here, BD. So what we are going to do, you look for a number which when you multiply it by 8, itakupea 24. Sini sawa?
Yes.
So and we realize that the number we can do is 3. But now this 3 will be able to multiply kwa hii ya AB peke yake. na hapa juu for us to retain it tutamultiply na 1. Now we are going to have hii ya pili hapa chini itakuwa ni 12:24 whereby that is AB. So ukiangalia AB tuko na BD na DC. So ukirearrange these ratios, you want to rearrange them up here. So when you rearrange them, you'll be able to have class dog. Yes, a minute. Sorry, I was saying that in this case we can rearrange it now so that we have A to B to C to D. So meaning that we start with the value of A, which we got it as 12, then the value of B was 24, then the value of C was, what was the value of C? 10.
10.
Yes, and then the value of D was
30.
30. Yes. Then ukiangalia, we can be able to simplify. Kuna namba yenye inaweza divide hizo ratios zote, which is 2. So ukidivide 2 by 12 utapata 6, 2 by 24 utapata 12, 10 by 2 utapata 5, and that's by 2 utapata 15. So meaning that in this case our ratio now of A ratio C will simply be 6:15. That one becomes our answer, but ikiwa A to C, still we can be able to simplify because ukiangalia there is a common figure which can divide both. So whereby you are going to get your final answer of A ratio B, A ratio C being equal to, which number can divide both 6 and 15?
Teacher, C ni 5. C ni 15. C ni 5.
Oh, C ni 5, sorry. Sorry. No.
65.
Yeah. A ratio C is 6:5. Yeah. So that is how we are supposed to do it.
Yes.
Are you okay ama mjaribu moja ndio tuende next?
Fanya
Hiyo sasa.
ingine teacher. Next. Fanya ingine tuende next.
Sawa. Let me do G, number 1G, whereby we have A ratio X, A ratio X is equals to 3:1. And then we have X to 2 is 4:1. Then we have 2 to C is 2:1. So tuanze na hiyo ya kwanza, which has AX and X2. So in that case, tuta multiply hiyo ya juu by 4, hiyo ya chini by 1. So we are going to have AX itakuwa ni 12:4 na X2 itakuwa 2:4. Yeah. Then now we have this second one, which is 2 ratio C. which is 2 to 1.
1.
So the common values here ni hii ya 2 na 2. So we need to make them to be the same. Hii hapa juu tutamultiply na 2 na hii hapa chini tumultiply na 1, so that we have x ratio 2 itakuwa ni 8 to 2, na hiyo ingine ya 2 to c itakuwa ni 2 to 1. But kumbuka kuna ile ya huku juu yenye tulipata ya a x, which is tulipata ngapi? 12 4. So ukiangalia hii x ya hapa na hii x hazifanani. One has 12 and then the other one has one has 2 and the other one, one has 4 and the other one has 8. And then the values of 2 are 2 the same in both cases? Yes, they are the same. So what we need to do is we look at the one which has the highest value amongst the two x's. Kuna hii iko na 8 na hii iko na 4. So we need to retain hii hapa ibaki kwa 2, x ibaki kwa 8 na hii 2 ibaki kwa 2. So we need to deal with this one, a ratio x, such that now this part here ikue 8 kama ile ya huko juu. So we multiply here by 2 and then here we multiply by 1 so that we retain hiyo ya juu the same way it is. So in this case we're going to have a to x itakuwa 24 is to 8. Is to 8. Sorry. is to 8. So when we rearrange it, we'll be able to have, tutaanza na hiyo ya a, anza na hiyo ya a to ratio x to ratio 2 to ratio c. The value of a ni ngapi? A ni ngapi?
12.
Is it 12? Hii ya mwisho yenye tumepata hapa chini ndio value ya a.
12.
Is it 12? Si tumemultiply 12 by 2 ikatupea 24. So the value of a is 24. Then that one of x ni 8. Then that one of 2 ni 2. And then that one of c ni 1. So this is now the ratio. Since we need a ratio c, we're able to have a ratio c will be equal to 24 to 1. So that's what we are supposed to have. Yeah, so the
imekuwa
ratio. Eh?
ndio imekuwa 24.
Yes.
Okay.
Kuna mtu amechanganyikiwa mahali, nirudie.
Sijui mbona
Yes.
inakuja.
Ama mko sawa?
Teacher. Yes, hapo iko rahisi but kuna some hapo chini chini hapo ndo tunapotelea hapo chini chini. I don't know.
Rudia tu.
Ukisha find hizi value mbili za kwanza, then sasa kuja kuchukua ile ya juu uanze kucompare na ya chini, hapo ndio kunaleta confusion.
Okay. Wacha tuifanye tena. Tuko na A ratio X, which is 3 ratio 1. And then X ratio 2. Hiyo itakuwa
Is 4:1.
1. Wacha kwanza tu deal na hizo mbili. So tuko na the value of X and X. So hapa juu tutamultiply na 4, hapa chini na 1. So itakuwa ni A ratio X, which will be equal to 12 ratio 4. And then the other one itakuwa ni X ratio 2 itakuwa equal to 4 ratio 1. Then tukuje hiyo ya tatu yenye ilikuwa ni 2 to C, which is 2
is to ratio.
to ratio 1. So ukiangalia hapa 2 tuko na value ya 2 ni 1 na hapa chini value ya 2 ni 2. So hapa juu tutamultiply na 2 na hapa chini na 1. Just go. So we'll be able to have X2 or 8 ratio 2. 2 ratio C itakuwa ni 2 ratio 1. Then ile ya kwanza ilikuwa ni A ratio X, which is 12 ratio 4. So ukiangalia X ya hapa juu hii iko na 8 na hii X ya hapa hii kwanza inatupata iko na 4. So tunataka to make hii pia ya hapa chini ikuwe na 4. So tutaangalia namba gani tutamultiply na 4 itupe 8 kama hii ya hapa juu, but hii tutairetain ikuwe hivyo. So hapa tutamultiply na 1 ndio tumultiply 4 ikuwe 8, we multiply it by 2. Sini sawa? So meaning in that case we're going to have A ratio X itakuwa ni 24 ratio 8.
Ratio 8.
Yes, sasa X zimefanana na hizi za 2 zinafanana, zote ni 2. So kumaanisha when we rearrange it itakuwa ni A ratio X ratio 2 ratio C. A 24, X ni 8, 2 ni 2 and C is 1. So since we need the value of A ratio 1 and A ratio C, A ratio C itakuwa ni 24 to ratio 1. And that one becomes your final answer.
Mwalimu,
Yes.
kuna hii mahali ya wakati tulipata A is to X 12 is to 4 and then X to 2 4 is to 1. Alafu tukaenda the ratio of 2 is to C is equals to 2 is to 1.
Yes.
Yes. Then we tumecompare na X to 2 sio? X to 2 whereby 4 is to 1
X to 2 tulipata 8 to 2. Hii hapa. X to 2 ni hapa.
X to 2 sasa ni ngapi?
8 to ratio 2.
Alafu alafu tuko hapa the ratio of 2 is to C is equals to 2 is to 1
Yes, 2 to 1. Mpaka hapo tuko sawa?
The ratio of X to 2.
Yes.
Mpaka hapo sasa next imefika 2 is to C is 2 is to 1 then X to 2 ni 8 to 2. Alafu
Sasa si
next
ukishafika hapo tukasema you compare now zile zenye ziko na similar letters. Ukiangalia tuko na AX na X2. Hizo ziko na similar letters, si ndio? AX na X2.
and X2.
Yes, they have the
Yes.
similar letters. So you check on the letters if they are the values if they are the same. Ukiangalia hii ya X2 iko 8 to 2 na A to X iko ni 12 to 4. So ukiangalia value ya X in the two cases hazifanani. Si ni sawa?
Hiyo ya
So
X2 ni 8 sio?
na AX ni 12 to 4. So value ya X in the two ratios are not the same.
So we multiply
Yes.
by 2.
Yes, so you make sure that they are the same by multiplying 2 in the second ratio ya A to X, unaimultiply na 2. But hii ingine utairetain hivyo juu hii iko na 2 na 2 yake zinafanana hii ya X2 na 2C. Si unaona hiyo
Yes.
iko na common ya 2 na hiyo 2 zinafanana huko. So hatutaki kudisturb hiyo 2. Ukidisturb tena tutaenda kuitengeneza. So we retain it. We disturb hii ya kwanza ya A ratio X to make hiyo part ya X ikue na 8. So tuna multiply na 2 kwa hiyo ratio ndio ifanane na ile ya huko juu.
The first one,
Yes.
12 is to 4. The ratio of 12 is to 4. Yes.
So tunataka hiyo 4 which is the part of X ikue 8.
Yes.
Ndio ifanane na ile X ya X2. X2 ratio 2 yenye iko 8 to 2. Si ni sawa?
Sasa itakuja 12 24
24 8. Yes. Umeelewa sasa? Sikupati. Unasemaje?
Yes.
Umeelewa? Umeielewa?
Yes.
Yeah, so thank you. So that's what you are required to do in that.
The ratio of A is to X ni 24 is to 8.
Yes.
Alafu the ratio of X to 2 ni 8 is to 2.
Yes.
Next.
2 is to C is 2 to 1.
Yeah, sasa ukishapata hivyo 2 to C is 2 to 1. So ukiangalia zile zenye ziko na similar letters hapo zote zinafanana. XX zote ziko 88. Na hiyo ya 2 to zote ziko 2 in both cases. So zikisha kuwa hivyo, then now you can rearrange it in this format. A to ratio X to ratio 2 to ratio C. Ndio utapata ni 24 to ratio 8 to 2
to 1.
Then from there now you pick the one that is required, which is A to ratio C. The value of A ni 24 and the value of C ni 1. So A to ratio C is equals to 24 to 1.
Yes.
Yeah, so that is what is required. Ituko sawa hapo?
Yes.
Sasa iko sawa.
Yeah, so you can be able to try those other questions zenye ziko hapo. You see how they are done. I want us to move to the next thing. Ukiangalia hapa number 2 wamepeana find the value of X in the following ratios. So hii ni ya kuequate tu. So for example ukiangalia part A ni 2 ratio 3 is equals to X ratio 9. For this one is simply equivalent. So utaiandika as a fraction so that ikuwe ni 2 over 3 is equals to X all over 9. So ukiangalia utaequate tu hizi za hapa chini. 3:9. Ama if you want, you can be able to cross multiply, whereby when you cross multiply itakuwa na hii itakuwa ni 3x 2 times 9, whereby we are going to have 3x is equals to
18.
18. So for us to get x, we divide by 3, divide by 3. So the value of x will be equal to 6. So kumaanisha hapo itakuwa ni 2/3 is equals to 6/9. Same as 2:3 is equals to 6:9. So the value of x is 6. The same case utafanya hizo zingine hivyo. The same way we have done it. Like now for example, yes?
Can we simplify the 6 and the 9?
No, for this case, since you are interested on the value of x, you leave it the way it is. Actually, answer yako itaishia hapa. Hapa. X is equals to 6. Hapo ndio utaacha. Example.
Teacher.
Wacha ni. Yes?
Can you do for us here or part B? Tuone hiyo yenye kuna fraction vile nafanya.
Yeah, that's what I want to do. We have this one, which is 1.5 to ratio 3 is equals to 3.5 to ratio x. So in this case, what happens? Hii yenye iko na mixed fraction, we change it to improper fraction. So hii itakuwa ni 3/2 ratio 3 is equals to, which one becomes 7
No.
2 ratio x. So this is the same as when you write it as a fraction, hii itakuwa ni 3/2 divide by 3 is equals to 7/2 divide by x. To deal na hizi nini fractions kwanza, so hii itakuwa ni 3/2. Ikiwa division, we change it to multiplication and then we write the reciprocal of 3 ni 1/3 is equals to 7/2. Ikiwa division, we change it to multiply and then we have the reciprocal of that one, so itakuwa ni 1/x. So therefore, we are going to have hii 3 na 3 itacancel, so tutabaki na 1/2 is equals to, hapa tutakuwa na 7/2x because ni 2 times x hii ya denominator hapa, so itakuwa 2x. So from here now we can multiply so that we have 1 times 2x is equals to 2 times 7, whereby we have 2x is equals to 14. So to get the value of x, we divide by 2, divide by 2. So the value of x will be equal to 7. So that is the final answer. So the value of x hapa ni 7. You leave your answer at that point.
Teacher.
Yes.
17 by 2 ni 7.
Hii ni 14. 14. 2 times 7. 2 times 7, which is over 2.
Okay.
Yeah. The next thing is about now the proportions. We have two types of proportions. Tuko na ile yenye inaitwa indirect na kuna direct. Hii ya indirect bado tunaweza iita inverse proportion. So when we talk of these two proportions, kuna ile yenye we have when we compare these two ratios, kuna ile yenye moja, hii ratio iki increase ina cause hiyo ratio ingine ina increase. Hiyo we call it direct proportion. Ama iki decrease ina cause hiyo ingine ina increase. So when you look at what we have here, we'll be able to understand that. You look at in this case various numbers of cups as 20 shillings per cup. So the number of cups, one costs 20. We can increase the cups to 2, the cost becomes 40. Then hapa uki increase the cost of the cups to 3, the cost becomes 60. Then we have, uki increase the number of cups to 4, the cost becomes 80. So in this case, you see that the ratio of the number of cups in the fourth column to the number of cups in the second column is 4:2, which is 2:1. So therefore, the ratio of the corresponding cost is 80:40, whereby ukisimplify itakuwa 2:1. By considering the ratio of the cost in any two columns and the corresponding ratio of the number of cups, it is noticed that they are always the same. For example, compare the ratio of the cups na the cost. For example, tuchukue hii the 2. So hiyo ni 2:3. Hiyo ni the number of cups. Then consider the cost. Cost ni 40:60, si ndio?
Yes.
Si tuko sawa mpaka hapo? Sasa in this case of the cost, when you simplify it, itakuwa the same as the number of cups yenye tuko nazo hapa. Ukiangalia 0 and 0 cancels, 2 goes to 4 2 times and 2 goes to 6 3 times. So you see the ratio is 2. The same case ukichukua hii na hii hapa, so hiyo ni 2:4 and their cost itakuwa ni, the ratio of the cost itakuwa ni 40:8. When you simplify this one, hii ya kwanza hapa, 2 goes to 2 1 times, 2 goes to 4 2 times, so we have 1:2, and then the cost hapa 4 0 and 0, then 4 goes to 4 1 times, and then 4 goes to 8 2 times. So here we are going to have 1:2. So in this case, ukiangalia, when one quantity increases, it causes the same increase in the other quantity. The number of cups zikiongezeka, the cost pia inaongezeka with the same ratio. Ikidecrease, it decreases with the same ratio. So ukiangalia hapa hivi, we say if two quantities are such that when one increases or decreases in a particular ratio, the other one also increases or decreases in the same ratio. So that is what we refer to as, or we call, the direct proportion. Hiyo sasa, they increase with the same ratio. When one quantity increases, it causes an increase in the quantity of the other ratio. Then the inverse proportion, in this case, we have another scenario here, that the number of pupils and the amount of money to be spent or to be shared. When we have one pupil, this one pupil will be able to spend the whole of 120. But watoto wakiongezeka wakuwe wawili, the amount reduces to 60. Na hapa pia, when they increases to 3, the share or the money to be shared, ita reduce to 40. So in this case, unaona, as the number of pupils increases, the amount of money to be shared decreases. So this is now what we are going to call as the inverse proportion. Ukichukua an example like in this case 2:3, 2:3, ukiandika their corresponding share itakuwa ni 60:40. So ukiangalia hii, ukisimplify 0 na 0 ita cancel, then hapa tutakuwa na 3:2. So ukiangalia hii ime increase as this one has decreased. So the ratio decrease, kumbuka tulisema unaanza na namba ndogo then kubwa. So hii ni 2:3. So this is the ratio decrease, and then on this other end we have 3:2 is the ratio increase. So meaning that when one ratio increases, the other one decreases, ama when the other one decreases, the other one increases. So that is what we call as inverse proportion. Tuko sawa mpaka hapa?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want us to look at an example tuangalie kama hii hapa. Example, a car travels 40 kilometers on 5 liters of petrol. How far does it travel on 12 liters of petrol? So hapa we are comparing the petrol. The petrol was 5 liters. Then we have increased it to 12 liters. So what is going to happen? In this case, what is going to happen to the ratio of the distance in kilometers that is going to be used? Hii ukiangalia, it's a direct proportion. The petrol increased in the ratio 12 to ratio 5. So meaning that since the petrol has increased, it's going to cause the corresponding increase in the distance that is going to be traveled. So therefore, the distance traveled will also be able to increase in the same ratio as the one of petrol. So tutakuwa na the ratio increase of the petrol, which is 12/5, times that one of the distance, which is 40. So when you multiply 4 goes here, 5 goes here once, goes to 48 times. So when you multiply 12 times 8, you are going to have
96.
this is 96 kilometers. You can check and see when you simplify the ratio of the distance traveled itafanana na hii ya the liters used. So ukiangalia hapa tutakuwa na 96 ratio 40. So hapa 8 goes to 96 how many times? 12 times. 8 goes to 40 5 times. So ukiangalia this ratio is the same as to that one of the petrol we had. So it means that you have to compare the ratios whether they are direct or indirect. For this one, tumegundua it's direct. So meaning that if the petrol increases in a certain ratio, it will be able to cause the distance or the other quantity to increase with the same ratio. So tutatumia that ratio ya petrol, we multiply na distance yenye tumepewa ama ile quantity yenye tumepewa, itatupea the value of the new quantity. The next example we have
Yes, Swali.
is this one. Yes,
Hiyo sasa ni direct or inverse niseme?
hiyo ni direct because hii ya petrol increase ita cause the corresponding increase ya distance. So hiyo ni direct. Hii increase ina cause hiyo ingine ina increase. Ama at times unaweza kuwa quantity decrease ina cause hiyo ingine pia ina decrease. So hiyo ni direct quantity.
Direct na inverse ni moja?
Inverse ni tofauti.
Oh.
Inverse inasema hii quantity moja increase ina cause hiyo quantity ingine decrease. Sawa?
Yes.
For the direct, kama moja ina increase hiyo ingine pia ita increase. Ama kama moja ina decrease hiyo ingine pia ita decrease. So lazima zikuwe same. But inverse, moja increase hiyo ingine ina decrease. Ama moja decrease hiyo ingine ina increase. Umeelewa sasa?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like now ukiangalia hii example number 11 hapa tumepewa that a train takes 3 hours to travel between 2 stations at an average speed of 40 kilometers per hour. At what average speed would it need to travel to cover the same distance in 2 hours? So hapo ukiangalia the time that we had initially ilikuwa ni 3 hours.
3.
Then it increased to 2. So hiyo ni ratio decrease. Na tukasema when unaandika the ratio increase ama decrease, for the decrease utaanza na ile namba ndogo then ifuatiwe na kubwa. So for the decrease hii itakuwa ni 2 ratio 3. This is the ratio decrease for the time. Then the speed is going to increase in the same ratio because tumesema kama time in a decrease, in this case the distance or the speed that is going to be used lazima ikuwe kubwa, so lazima increase. So the ratio for the speed itakuwa ni 3:2 because this one is an increase while this one is decrease. So therefore, since we need the speed, we are going to use this one, speed increase. Yes.
Sio, the ratio ilikuwa imetoka kutoka 3 ikakuja 2 So hiyo ni degrees, si ndio?
Yes.
Then kama ni degree sasa, si tulisema unaanza na chini kutoka 2 to 3 na hiyo ingine sasa 3:2 nitajuaje kama itakuwa degrees? Ndio nitumie ratio ya kubwa, nianze na ratio ya kubwa.
Una interpret to the question. Ukiangalia hapa, a train takes 3 hours to travel between two stations at an average speed of 40 kilometers. So kama inachukua 3 hours to travel for 40 kilometers per hour, what will happen iki reduce time for 2 hours iende the same distance, ni speed gani itatumia? Sikumaanisha hapo, in that case the speed has to increase to cover the same distance in less time. Sawa? So in that case, it means that the speed has to increase. So the ratio, because this is an inverse proportion, inamaanisha we are going to reverse this ratio. Kama tulikuwa tumeandika decrease ni 2 to ratio 3, for the increase itakuwa ni 3 to 2. Yeah, so it's 3 to 2. So therefore, since we are dealing with the speed, so tutatumia hii ya increase, which is 3 all over 2 times the initial speed and tulikuwa tumepewa, which was 40 kilometers per hour. So therefore, 2 goes here once, goes here, 20. So when you multiply that, we are going to have the new speed being 60 kilometers per hour. Are we together?
Yes.
Yeah. So that is how you can be able to operate.
Sasa ni inverse.
Yes, for this one now is the inverse.
Yes.
Let's do another example. Tuone. Hii sasa ni ya proportions mali ina combine the other ratios. For this one iko na methods mbili, whereby we have that 10 men working 6 hours a day take 12 days to complete a job. How long will it take 8 men working 12 hours a day to complete the same job? For this one, there are 2 ways. The first one ni ya kutumia hii proportion, whereby you can decide to come up with a table here, whereby we have men, hours, days. Initially, we have 10 men working 6 hours, takes 12 days. Hiyo ni ya kwanza. Then on the second part wanauliza how long will it take 8 men working 12 hours to complete the same job. So hapa tunahitajika kutafuta number of days. So to do that, we will be able to apply hiyo idea ya direct na indirect proportion. So for this one, tutaanza na number of men. Kama wakiwa 10 wanachukua 12 days. Wakiwa 8, what's going to happen to the number of days? Ita increase ama ita decrease?
Decrease.
Decrease.
Wakiwa 10 wanafanya kazi siku 12. Wakipungua wanaume wakuwa 8. Si siku zitaongea. Yes, so meaning that in that case we are going to use the ratio increase for the days hapa, so itakuwa ni 10 to 8. So hii ndio tutatumia for the days because already ina increase, so it's 10 to ratio 8. Then on the other side tuachane sasa na men, tuangalie the hours. 6 hours itachukua 12 days. What if when we increase the hours to 12, number of days itafanya nini?
Decrease.
A decrease. So therefore in this case now we're going to use the ratio decrease ya hours hapa, so itakuwa ni 6 ratio 12. So it's going to cause the number of days also to decrease. So for us to get, tutachukua tu hizo tumezipata hivyo, so ni 10 all over 8 times hii ingine ya pili which is 6 all over 12, then times hii ya mwisho hapa yenye tumepewa ni 12. So from there now you multiply whereby 12 and 12 ita cancel, then goes to 8 how many times? 4. 2 goes to 6 3 times. Then here 2 goes here, 2 goes 5. How many? 5. So we're going to have 5 times 3 which is 15. Hapa juu tutabaki na 2. So we can be able to rewrite it as 7 and a half days. See, iko sawa mpaka hapo? So that is the number of days that will be taken when we have 8 men working for 12 hours. Hiyo imeeleweka?
Yes.
Kuna method ingine, the second method, which is the one which we can now be able to use to interpret this one. Let me just show it to you also. Though for this one, it involves you to write a lot, whereby we'll be able to have men, hours, and days. Men are 10, taking 6 hours, complete the job in 12 days. What will it take 8 men working 12 hours to complete the same job? So for this one, tutaenda tu tuandike hapo the ratio of men. Ratio of men hapa ni 10. Ukiangalia initially walikuwa 10 wakaenda 8, so in that case is the decrease. So ratio decrease tukasema inaandikwa as 8 ratio 10. Sasa kama men wame decrease hivi, what will happen to the days ratio?
We increase.
They will increase. So we use the same ratio of men but we increase it. So tutai reverse, tuanze na 10 ratio 8. Ni sawa? Hiyo sasa ni days.
10.
Tukuje hours ratio. Ukiangalia the hours ratio ilikuwa 6 ikaenda 12, so in that case ni increase, so whereby it increased from 12 to ratio 6. So what will happen to days ukikompare na hours? Ukikompare na hours hapa tulisema uangalie kama hours zime increase from 6 to 12, what will happen to the number of days? See, the number of days will decrease.
Yes.
So we write the days ratio in decrease form kutumia ya hours, so itakuwa ni 6 ratio 12. Ni sawa? Then from there now tutakuja tuangalie mahali tuko na days. Kuna hii ratio ya days na hii ya days hapa chini, tutazimultiply then times hii number of days tumepewa hapa, so itakuwa ni 10 over 8 times 6 over 12 times the 12 days, whereby ukisimplify itakupea 15/2, which is 7.5 days. So it's you to choose which one to use. Umeelewa kufika hapo?
Yes, the first one seems to be a bit easier kidogo.
Yes, so that is how we can be able to do it. So I want to give you a question here, you try, then we can be able to proceed from there. Ebu try number 1. That one is testing about the direct and indirect. So can you try?
Number?
Number 1.
Each gate orange. So we have plus orange. Number of orange is divided among 6 girls. 6 orange. How many orange? Each girl. Okay. How many oranges? Each girl. If 8 girls. So increase. Decrease.
Are you done?
Yes,
Okay.
teacher, me I've got 3 oranges each. Yes.
Yeah, so we have that when a number of oranges is divided among 6 girls, each gets 4 oranges. How many oranges would each girl get if there were 8 girls? So ukiangalia for this one, compare in terms of ratios, tuko na that there were initially girls oranges. So initially the girls were 6, and then the oranges were each will be able to get 4 oranges. The number of girls increases to 8. So what will happen to the number of oranges? So ukiangalia hapa, if the number increases to 8 for the girl, it means that the oranges will be able to decrease further. So then we are going to use the ratio decrease here, which is 6 to 8. So itakuwa ni 6/8 times 4. So 2 goes here once, I mean 4 goes here once, goes here 2 times. 2 goes here once, goes to 6 3 times. So meaning that the answer becomes 3 oranges. So for this one, is it an inverse or a direct proportion?
Inverse.
It's an inverse because when the other one increases, the other one decreases. Now,
Yes.
compare your ratio, you'll be able to realize that the ratio increases on this side as it decreases on the other side. So that is it. Kuna hii ingine ya tumefanya the second example, ndio nataka mjaribu.
Question.
Tujaribu number 8. 8.
Teacher, 48 men.
Yes.
48 men. Yes, 48.
Wengine mnapata ni- getting
48.
the same?
Yes.
Okay, let's do the other one. A minute amalize pia. Then we shall do it together. Tumalize utuambie ndio tufanye pamoja. Hujamaliza bado?
Tumalize.
Okay, so when you look at that question, inasema that 6 men can cultivate a piece of land in 20 days. How many more men would, or working at the same rate, could be needed to cultivate the same piece of land in 15 days? So ukiangalia
Answer ni
hapo,
yes.
yes, answer ni
Ali.
yes,
12.
12. Okay, ndio nataka, let's do it together tuone. We have that men na days. So the number of men ni 36. Then the number of days wanachukua ni 20 wakiwa 36. Then ni wangapi wanahitajika ndio wafanye kazi in 15 days. So for this one ukiangalia the ratio of days umepewa ni 20 in a decrease to 15. So meaning that tutaandika 15:20. But now when the number of men decreases in this case, it means that it's going to cause a corresponding increase in number of men. So we are going to have it as the ratio increase, whereby because the number of men are increasing, I mean the number of men are increasing, so we are going to use the ratio increase, whereby the ratio increase itakuwa ni 20:15.
15.
So kumaanisha itakuwa ni 20/15 times that 6. So hapo tukisimplify itakuwaje? 3 goes here 5, 3 goes here 12, 5 goes here once, goes here 4. So 4 times 12 tunapata answer ni 48. But the question inasema how many more? How many more?
Minus
So you minus 48 minus
36.
36.
You get 12.
12 more.
Teacher, hebu come again hapo kwa hiyo statement.
Hii hapa
Hapo kwenye wamesema ni more.
how many more?
Kwa hivyo how many more inamaanisha tuna subtract.
Ni hapo zaidi ya wale wenye walikuwa original, so you are going to subtract. Hivyo original walikuwa 36 na the new number ni 48, so the more the extra men ndio wanahitajika determine the number of the extra men. So utachukua the new number of men minus the initial or the original.
Sawa sawa.
Hii sasa ni inverse eh?
Yeah, for this one is an inverse because hii ingine ikidecrease hii ina increase. Hebu jaribu number 17. Number 17.
Each working 8 days, 8 hours. We have hours. Take 8 days. So we have 15. Each working 8 hours. 8
15. 8 plus 24.
Teacher, I've got 62 days and a half.
Yes, you are getting what you have said.
62 days and a half.
62 days and a half. Mhm. Okay, let's do it very quickly and see. We have that. Niliwapea number 17.
Yes.
So inasema 15 tractors, each working 8 hours a day, take 8 days to plow a piece of land. How long will it take 24 tractors, each working 10 hours a day to plow the same land? So hapa tutakuwa na tractors, then hours. So the tractors are 15, working 8 hours, takes 8 days. Then we have how long would it take? 24 tractors, each working 10 hours. So ukiangalia hapa, the number of tractors zilikuwa 15, zika increase to 24. So what is going to happen? Hapa the tractors ziki increase, the number of days are going to decrease. So in this case, we are going to use the ratio decrease, which is 15 over 24 times. Tukuja hapa kwa hours. Hours zilikuwa 8, zika increase to 10. So meaning that ziki increase hivyo, the hours, when the hours increases, the number of days are also going to decrease. Si ni hivyo? Is it true?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so going to use the ratio decrease also, which is 8 over 10, then times 8. Yeah. So 8 inaenda hapa 1, inaenda kwa 24, 3 times. Then goes here once, goes to 15, 5 times. Then kuna hii 5, goes here once, goes to 10, 2 times. So 2 here once, 2 to 8. Oh, so tumebaki, our answer here will be equal to the number of days will be 4 days.
Mwalimu, mine kwenye nimekosea
Mhm.
hapo kuanzia nime equalize nikasema hapo kwa hours zikuwe the same. So
Hapana,
nikamultiply by
15.
8 na by ndio nikapata
hapana.
big digit.
Oh, that's why, but make sure that you use the values zenye umepewa kwa question.
Nataka the same. Sawa.
So I think for now we can stop there because that marks the end of the topic, unless kuna mtu ako na swali. Though ukiangalia in most cases kwa exams, hii swali yenye tumefanya hii ya mwisho number 17 na number 18, hizi ndio maswali tu wanaletanga mostly kwa hiyo topic. Zile zingine za kutoka huko nyuma tulisoma so that we can be able to understand how to solve these other ones hapa mwisho. So when you need to do, make sure that you do a lot of practice on these questions. Kama uko na Medfamilia, it has so many of the questions zimewahi testiwa kwa KCSE. Ukihitaji you can just go through them, they are very good. I think niliwahi tuma hiyo nini kitabu ya Medfamilia, si mko nayo?
Yeah.
Yes.
So mtaenda muangalie then you attempt those questions.
Okay.
Na mzipange ziingie kama hivi. Hizi zime zipange tu hiyo. Yeah, so I think we can stop there for today unless kuna mtu ako na swali. Kuna swali?
Teacher. On
Any
my
question?
side, sina question.
Okay, so thank you for your time. We can stop there for now. Taendelea siku ingine. Have a good day.
Good day to teacher.
Okay. Kuna mtu bado hajapeana?